Yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I hope your day goes fine. The Chief, 1893, Clan Vala, V-A-H-L-A, and his Panther 2. Been doing a little work with the Chief. We've been discussing a few things along the way, and he said, hey, Guido, I'm having trouble with my Panther 2 on occasion. Things like CS-52 LISs are tearing me up. And I said, well, you know what? So there are overpowered tanks out there. That is one of the best tier 8 mediums, happens to be a premium, in the game. But the Panther 2 is a competent tier 8 medium, especially after the buffs recently. You can see he's got some of the old style camo on there. That's some of the oldest camo in the book right there. And in the game as well. The book, the game, whatever. The camo book. He's got that long, what is it, a long 88, I believe, on the front of that bad boy. Yep, long 88 on it. All kinds of penetration in a tier 9 battle, so one tier down. And we are here on Stepsdorf, Himmel's Steps. On the steeps. That's good. It says. Getting on the steeps, my friends. Putting on the Ritz, putting on the steeps. Putting on the steeps Ritz. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I'm going to leave that in because it's just random babble as we head on in to the battle. So my response to him, among other things, was what you want to do with this tank is be a little bit standoff. Be in the fight, but don't be right up in the front. It's got some decent armor, and if you are in the front, do some angling and such. Try to minimize, obviously, the return fire and whatnot. So we come over here to the east side, push down some trees. Now, I'm not a huge fan of doing this kind of thing right here, but I would agree that it was a good idea for the Chief in this battle right now because we really don't know what is going on over here on the east side, or the west side for that matter. What we do know is we don't have a whole lot of tanks. We have a decent amount, but it looks like the bulk of our guys went over to the west. So one of the things we're going to talk about in this replay is analyzing what's going on in the fight and seeing when you need to be pressing a little bit and when you don't need to be pressing a little bit. Because one of the things about this game is analyzing the fight, how many tanks are where. It's hard to know right now, though. So you might say, ooh, look, the 105 and the Chrysler are right up in their face. Nobody's here. Not so fast there, Cochise. There could be some guys getting up on the hill. There could be a bunch of guys hanging out here waiting to see what's going on. And you might get a counterattack. So a counterattack can be pretty devastating if you overextend in World of Tanks. At the same time, you want to be supportive of your guys that have taken up good positions and are getting in people's faces. And that's kind of what it starts to look like over here for a moment. There is an E50 camping in the middle, so we know at least one guy's sitting there. And because the Chrysler and the 105 didn't get shredded, I'm going to talk about this move in a minute. Because the 105 and the Chrysler didn't get shredded, there wasn't anything as of the time they went through this open spot. And this is the dangerous part, coming around this corner and up to about where the 105 is. I would not have stopped right there, even as I got spotted. No way, no how. Because you want to get to where the 105/100 is. 1,000, I guess it is. Math is hard. Numbers are difficult. Life is hard. It's harder when you're stupid. All that good stuff. So I would not have stopped right there. All right. So we got a bit of a little push going on. They have kind of trapped the Conqueror, and he's in trouble. If he doesn't have any support right above him, which it doesn't seem to like he does, I would have added my gun into that press into the Conqueror and got rid of him. Break, break. Be very careful on this map, in this position, thinking that you're just going to roll up onto their cap and start killing people. It has become quite meta for tanks to sit back like you're starting to see develop right now and hang out either way in the back or up on that hill around corners, because climbing up and out of this, even though it's hold down, is difficult to do. And you can see that they've got quite a few guys. We just missed that shot. They get quite a few guys start to react to this thing, and there's 3 or 4 over here, and there's only about 3 of you, and 2 of you are kind of hurt. So I think I would have got in there with the Conqueror. The other thing is, and you're going to get there eventually, as we back out and turn around, we're going to head up over here and start working the hill ourselves. Okay, depression on the Panther 2, not amazing. Off the side, I think it's a little more off the side, as I recall. This little notch here on this hill is useful for good hold down tanks. Panther not as much, but not bad. All right, so the Barask makes a push in there. I would have got in position immediately and start punishing that guy. There you go. Go, 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 go. Get him. There you go. Nice shot. Lights him on fire. He has an automatic fire extinguisher or quick fingers. Could be very quick fingers. All right, now here's the counterattack I was talking about, which is why you sometimes don't want to get too crazy down in here, and the JT is way in the back. And I'm thinking, when I first watched this through, I said, well, that's that. They're just going to push down and kill them all. They already got the Chrysler K. Chief's going to do a really nice job here, actually. So of all the things that went well on this, I think this particular place was good. Now, I think you overexposed on that. What you want to do is just come around so that your pipper is just above the train. You had a lot of tank exposed, and I don't know if maybe he came forward while you were going forward or whatever. All right, so here comes the E50. Obviously is showing intent to push. What I would have done while he was coming at us is back around this corner here and not expose as much of my tank and allowed him to come further out, because he was definitely going to do it to about there, and then shot him into the lower plate. So just a little rushed, maybe got a little bit scared of the E50, and I figured this was it, man. This is over. I like this. Looks like you're trying to go for the track. You don't get it. Bummer. And then they kill the 105 1000. I'm thinking, oh, the jig is up. But guess what, fellas? And I don't know if you noticed that, but here comes the JT who's going to actually save this day. Really, if this team had any kind of clue, they'd all piled on, taken down the Panther on the way by and killed off the JT. But what they do is they get scared of the JT, and now we're all piled up. And this is a kind of amazing sequence here. Nice job going for the track. We get it. We're going to back out. We should out reload him. It looks like he fixed it though. And now we find ourselves a little hidey hole. Don't know if you noticed your driver is dead. Try to pay attention to that in this game. It is going to affect your back and forth and your maneuverability, so you definitely want to hit 5. What's pretty funny here, though, is, and I think happens pretty soon, he gets shot and loses his gunner. Then he has 2 dead guys, and I think he gets them both fixed. So if he'd fixed the driver about the time I talked about it, he might have not been able to fix his gunner as soon. So that guy's making a runner. You do a nice little, there it is right there. So we've lost our gunner too. Now we definitely need to press 5 and fix that up. Nice little shot right there on the Type 61. So they end up holding this corner, which actually kind of blew my mind. That was really well played right there. 5, 5, 5. Oh, it's 4. Sorry for you. 4, 4. There we go. Finally realized it. The char footer has come up. He is over here. We still have a pretty healthy JT, and we've turned what was a problem into a bit of an advantage. They are bailing out. And now we're going to get to another thing that, try a shot right there, often gets messed up, especially on this map. I'm going to let this develop a little bit. Right now there's quite a few guys hanging out in that low spot in the middle. The ST1 has pulled back, and we're kind of up here. We do have to be careful with this spot. I think he actually gets this shot. That's pretty amazing. There we go. Nicely done. Accuracy of this gun's pretty awesome. And we get that guy too, which kind of blew my mind. I think if he saw that shot on the replay, he'd be very angry. We need to peel the ST1 out. So when we get the ST1 out of this corner, then we have a lot of freedom of movement. For right now, so I think I push up and take that shot and hit him. I want to help my guys. And that's part of what I was talking about earlier, is when you start getting advantages like that, press that local advantage and take care of that situation, and then worry about sniping guys way in the back. I mean, if they're presenting really easy shots, but of course that, what was it, a Barask or whatever it was running miles away, and the ST1 is here and he's getting pushed by the char, but we're not really helping that guy. I think if we come up and over right at the ST1 and eliminate him from this corner right here, that frees up all of our guns. And we're finally doing it. There we go. And we're going to back out. Back, 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 back. Get down. I like that. No shots coming in, so more than likely they're not paying attention to you. We're up to 2,600 damage. And now this is the part on the approach that I talk about a lot on how do I get to the next hit points. They're all in the corner. So what's the best way to get to them? Let's see what the Chief does, what his choice is. Right now he's still kind of staying sniper guy. I think you get in there and start shooting people. Not YOLO forward. And I think this is the last place I would go, right here. It's okay for grabbing these bushes if that's what you're thinking. But what happens is we end up, I think we can maybe get a shot here, I don't know. Yeah, just take that. Okay, so we don't take it. now we're pushing, and holy cow, we're going across the open. And for a minute, I thought maybe you were thinking about climbing up the hills, and you may have been right there. All right, so after seeing all that kind of wandering about, you come down here, go here. Yep, you can see it on the screen now, where the Sturv K is, and you work across the low area right here. More than likely, these guys up here in the west don't have shots on you, plus they're busy. You should be able to get down into the ravine and start getting in close, and if they are exposed, shoot them in the back, or come around the north side of their sniper hill here and find shots into the Barask, will help the LHMTV. But trundling across the middle of this is probably the last place you really need to go as far as approach. And this game is not necessarily sealed. You've got a hit point advantage. You have, I think, a tank advantage. There you go. You certainly have a map advantage, although they may break free up there in the other corner. And we just kind of drone at them right here. So notice how that's just way out in the open. Now T-30 is like, oh, lunch. T-30 says, oh, fantastic. I'm just going to kill this guy. If you don't go on the north side of this ridge, where the JT is the second best, because there is some undulating terrain right here you can kind of hide in and then dive down into this ravine. And either come up, hold down over here where the T-30 is, or go to the north of this sniper ridge, or even in the middle, hold down right there, that middle road if you want. We do put an angle on this guy right on, dude. So if that was on purpose, well done right there. You spoiled that shot. Those little twitchy moves like that will spoil more shots than you think, because he's trying to get you square center mass in that hole. You do a little twitch and put your tracks or the side of your tank or something, or just enough angle that the pen doesn't make it through the armor. You will watch good players will absolutely frustrate you when you're aiming in, and then they do that last minute little twitch, you know, kind of as they watch as they watch your tank aim, and that little twitch, and you end up with a track shot or something that you weren't intending to do. So if that was on purpose, well done. If it was random, act like it was on purpose. You ever hear the term fake it till you make it? You know what I mean? Sometimes when you're faking it till you make it, you find something that works and you're like, got it. Didn't mean it that time, but I will next time. I will next time. So there you go, man. Nicely done. 2,632, no assist. As far as being more of a support tank, I thought you did a really nice job. I thought there were a couple opportunities where you could have been a little more aggressive, not hyper YOLO in front of them aggressive, but adding your gun a little faster to situations locally, which was the first one was their ST-1. The second one was their ST-1. First one was their Conqueror that was down in the pit there, and then the ST-1 later, and then maybe a little bit faster move into the last hit points here. That time you were on the hill and you killed the ST-1, that time from there until here, you shot maybe once or twice and got no more hit points, I believe. So once that happened, I saw them stuck in that corner. That whole route I discussed, I won't go over the whole thing again, but various ways to approach. I would have got in much closer, much faster, and tried to gobble up some more hit points, because you got to lay that pressure on to them. It was still fairly even. They were really hurting in terms of map control, but they were in a decent defensive position. If you'd have got your gun in there faster, you would have helped it collapse faster as well. So there you go. Lots of good stuff there, actually. Good stuff to build on. I thought everybody might be a little bit interested in the ideas of, if you are doing that second line support tank, that's good. And there are tanks that are really good at that. But there are times where you need to dial up the aggression, you know, from 5 to 11, and then be ready to dial it back if you have to. All right, that's all I've got. Thanks for tuning in. You guys have a good one. We will see you.